Hello everyone, Mark Houlihan here for Speedway Motors. It's 2022 SEMA show. We are in the Coker Tire booth with my good friend Tommy Lee Bird, and we're going to talk today about radial and bias tires and answer a few questions that our customers have been asking us. Tommy, bias tires, radial tires, you know, what's the difference in like how the tires are made, how they ride on a vehicle, that sort of thing?
There's a lot of differences, and it starts with the construction, being that the bias ply tire has ply cords that run at a 45-degree angle to the bead. Okay. And they're overlapped in a crisscross pattern, and that was originally a good idea. That's what everybody was doing. That was the industry standard. And those tires, they're sturdy and they're dependable, but they don't ride as good as a modern radial. Okay. So a modern radial has ply cords that run from a 90-degree angle from the bead, and it allows the tire to flex, which means it's going to go over the bumps, not try to find every little crack in the road.
And I assume radial tires are much better from a temperature standpoint as far as cold weather and hot running with like high speed, long distance driving, that sort of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. They're a little better as far as staying the same size. Mm-hmm. You know, a bias ply tire will actually grow a little bit as it gets warmer. That's just how they're made. It's not a design flaw, it's just how it's done. Whereas the radial's got steel belting under the tread. They're very much contained. That keeps them round longer, helps with rolling resistance. There's a lot of advantages there. But some people like bias plies because if they sit for 2 years in a garage, you can actually go drive the car and the heat is going to make the tire round again. Like if it gets flat spots from sitting for too long, they'll actually round back up on their own, whereas a radial doesn't quite do that. It doesn't recover as well.
So what you're saying is don't let the car sit, drive it.
Driving is pretty important, yes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, some people just have to have the look of the bias ply, but it's not a show car. They're going to drive it. How do we get the best of both worlds?
That comes with the Bias Look Radial. That is a tire that we invented coming up on 10 years ago, and we call it a Bias Look Radial. That's just kind of a made-up term. It's not it's not something that's known in the tire industry, but it truly mixes these two tires. It mixes the narrow tread profile, the pie crust shoulder, and the tall sidewall with the internals of a radial. So that's what we have over here is our American Classic. Okay. And that's available in 9 sizes for 13, 14, and 15-inch rim diameters. And it's a steel belted radial, and it has the appearance of a bias ply tire. It'll fool even the most seasoned car guy, especially when it's on the car. Yeah,
I'm looking at it now and seeing, like you said, the pie crust sidewall and the tread pattern. I'd swear that's a bias ply tire if you didn't tell me any different, or if I looked at the fine print.
It's definitely a very popular seller for us. It's a tubeless tire, although sometimes you may have to run a tube if you're running wire wheels or something like that. Yeah. But it is a tubeless steel belted radial. It hits the highway really well, and we've got sizes that cover original classic cars from the 40s and 50s, as well as hot rods and customs.
And obviously we're showing off the wide whites here, which are really popular, and like the big and little combinations and things like that. Mm-hmm. But you have both bias ply radial and the bias look radials in like Redlines and like the muscle car look tires and things of that nature too, right?
Yeah, our Firestone product line has bias ply and a bias look radial, and that covers all of our muscle car marketplace.
Great. So if they got a hot rod, here's your wide white. If you got a muscle car, get yourself some nice muscle car tires that have that E70 14 look to them, but ride down the road with a radial carcass and give you that smooth ride.
Yeah, that's really what we're after, is encouraging people to get out and drive their car more. And obviously that uses up tires, so that keeps us in business. But it's mostly because that's what these cars are made for. Yeah. And if we can give people an excuse to get out and drive more, we're going to do that. And that's really been a good tactic with this Bias Look Radial.
Don't let them sit. Like I said, that's a number one rule. Yeah. Don't let them sit. Drive them and enjoy them.
Yep, that's right.
Tommy, thanks so much for all the information.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.